Hi, I'm Pastor Len Smith, interim pastor here at Shepherd's Heart Fellowship. We're in the midst of beginning a series where people in the congregation can ask spiritual questions, questions about their Christian experience, or questions that they may have about Scripture. One of our first questions in this series revolves around the passage in the book of Exodus.
And he passed in front of Moses, proclaiming, the Lord, the compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger, abounding in love and faithfulness, maintaining love to thousands, and forgiving wickedness, rebellion, and sin. Yet he does not leave the guilty unpunished. He punishes the children and their children for the sin of the fathers to the third and fourth generation. So this person says, my question revolves around the last of verse 7. Am I to be punished for the sins of bad people in my genealogy?
I've taken some time to research an answer for this. I think it's important to remember when we read just a few verses from any book of the Bible that originally the Bible had no verses. In fact, it wasn't until 1551 that verses were put in the Bible, and it was centuries and centuries after the books of the Bible were compiled until there were even chapters put in. So that's a long way of saying you have to even look at the context of an entire book. And to answer this question, you have to really go back to Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3 to get the complete formula for what was being addressed later in Exodus chapter 34. So if we return back to Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3, we read, "You shall have no other gods before me." And verse 4, "You shall not make for yourself an idol in the form of anything in heaven above or on the earth beneath or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the parents to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments." So if we go back to Exodus chapter 20, we see the full formula involves the important qualifier of those who hate me. And so the judgment of the sin of the fathers to the third and fourth generation would be to those who really hate God, not to those who love God and keep his commandments. Sometimes this whole question about, are people punished for the sins of earlier generations? Sometimes this is referred to as generational curse or generational sin. But I think obviously when we look at the passage in Exodus chapter 20, this isn't the case, because each person has the choice of loving God, obeying his commandments, or hating God. And in the final analysis, people who hate God, they want to be their own God. They want to make their own decisions about what is right, wrong, good, or proper. We invite you to like and subscribe to get this church content weekly. And you can comment on any questions you may have down below so that I may answer them in coming weeks. Blessings upon you, and have a great day.